What happened to this white paradise that was once very tropical? It attracted a lot of foreigners.
This is day one of exploring India's hippie trail, where freedom meets faith and culture shapes the vibe.
Finally, the hippie culture started giving space to Indian urban middle class uncles wearing banyans and gold chains, dancing to Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum DJ mixes in Tito's in Goa. This was the difference. There was a cultural assertion on the part of Indians. You see a lot of Indian urban middle class slowly started to realize, hey, this is Goa, it's a part of our culture and this is what we aspire as well. Even we want to have fun. Why just the Westerners? So they started coming in. And the locals said, you know, this is a good idea, because the people who were somewhat subserving to a lot of these hippies suddenly became entrepreneurs. They started running taxis, they started running hotels, they started becoming cooks in big restaurants, and that is where everything in Goa actually changed. All was Goa Gill, this guy who was 18 years old, born and raised in California, and he left the West because he was disillusioned with the politics and the culture over there, and he wanted to come to India, and he started this whole DJ Sadhu mix with taking some mantras from Hindu culture and mixing it with some techno sets inspired from Japanese DJs. And this sat very well with an urban elite audience in India who actually started following him. And that is when the entire Goan culture started to change, because these hippies actually did not contribute anything locally beyond its beaches and shacks and hippie culture. Anything to Goan culture they did not do. They started underground economies, they ran a lot of these rave parties, and this whole economy became a problem in the sense that the locals actually were left out their place. In fact, even during the emergency, most of them did not even know what India was going through, while most of India was either in jail or were forcefully sterilized. So while the Westerners were very happy hosting all of these parties on Vagator, Anjuna and Baga, they soon realized that they were being materialistic while actually fighting it or running away from it. And the locals also realized that the Konkani culture was actually being completely left out of the whole subculture that emerged out of the hippie movement. And this is how a slow transformation of Goa took place over time. From a land that had forests and clean beaches to a hippie culture that started from the West in the 60s, and the Beatles taking over the entire scene in the 80s, to the Indian urban middle class completely taking over Goa later after 1991 reforms.